Hello, church family. This is Pastor Mark Galvin of Calvary Chapel, Lompoc, and I'd like you to join with me as I go through a couple of verses out of the 46th Psalm this morning. Psalm 46, the first 4 verses. Actually, we'll look at the first 5 verses. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. The word Selah there means to consider, to meditate upon these things. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early. God is our refuge. We're to think about that as we consider this 46th Psalm. We're to meditate upon the fact that God is our refuge 24/7. He is there for you, for me. He is that source of strength. We're living in a very fearful age, a troubling time. But notice what he says here. Though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof, Selah. So we are not to be fearful or to be panic-stricken, even if these cataclysmic events were to take place. It reminds me of the 3 Hebrew teenagers back in Daniel's writings, where Daniel records that Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, as they were about ready to be cast in the midst of the burning fiery furnace, that these 3 Hebrew men refused to bow to the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up there in the plain of Dura, and they had utter confidence, complete confidence that God could deliver these 3 men. And even if he didn't, they weren't going to bow. And so as God's people, it doesn't matter what we face or who we face. It's because we are in his presence and that God is on your side. And if God be for you, who can be against you? So as God's people, important, vital for us to remember these things on a daily basis. And just as it says here, Selah, this is something throughout the day you can consider and think about, and just remember that God is your refuge. He's your strength. In the midst of great trouble, turmoil, we're not to be fearful. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed. So we are far from that. And yet, so often it's easy for us to be shaken and upset. I encourage you, God encourages you from his word to trust in him. God bless you.